Hello, my name is Jonathan Hart, and I'm doing my persuasive speech on global warming and the relationship between climate change and the effects of the temperature globally. Let's get started. Climate change, global warming. Did you know that there was a difference in the two? Do you care? And are you even curious? Early in the 1970s, the term inadvertent climate modification was used to define the human impact on climate change. Now, during that time, popular science had no clue in which direction the climate change would even go. So in the world of science, the difference between climate change and global warming were and still remain very valid to this day. Global warming is the damage in our atmosphere, the damage that our atmosphere takes from all of the heat-holding gases that come from the burning of fossil fuels. The fact that the temperature is changing around the globe is just a single issue that needs to be addressed when it comes to the talk dealing with the effects of the change in the climate and how we can change this debate in one way or the other. I believe everybody needs to choose a side at this point. Due to all the radiation from the atmosphere heating up the Earth's surface, it's creating temperatures above known averages. This is known as the greenhouse effect. Fun fact, in 1824, the name for greenhouse effect derived from sunlight passing through an actual greenhouse. While doing so, it noticeably warmed the interior of the greenhouse. The Earth has its own natural greenhouse effect taking place. Humans have allowed for some questionable activity that have lent itself to the damage of the atmosphere, the climate, the increase of the temperatures, melting of glaciers, things of that nature. Just a bunch of different changes going around globally that people feel are either valid, have some type of validity, or it's just nonsense. So I guess it just depends on where you fall with it and where you side. But it is said that human activity is the cause of global warming. And perhaps it is. And in this piece I will explore those ideas as well as my own. I do not believe that humans are solely to blame for the warmer climates due to emissions, greenhouse effect, and the increase in carbon dioxide, along with the methane gases in the air. For that matter, even polar caps. Melting and the sea levels rising and falling constantly. Constant downfalls, increases and decreasing. Though I do believe that we have helped propel many of these issues that have contributed to our current climate's temperature flux and its odd behavior, such as the number of tropical storms and hurricanes in the past 3 years alone. Last year, we faced 17 storms that were reported and named, 10 hurricanes that either made landfall or downgraded to tropical storms. Then, we had a reported 6 major hurricanes. We had Harvey, Irma, Maria, and Nate. In 2016, we encountered a total of 3 hurricanes that kicked off this newfound phenomenon in our climate, which is causing colder oceans to become warmer, which is creating more intense hurricanes during the tropical seasons. So now we find ourselves in 2018, and so far we have already seen 8 hurricanes around the globe, 2 of which have struck the United States, Florence and Joyce in September. And in October, we also seen Hurricane Michael. Proof that we are experiencing something truly unique in our climate due to global warming is that while Hurricane Florence became our first hurricane of the season on September 5th, we've seen 4 major storms active all at once. All at once. We had Florence, Helen, Isaac, and Joyce, all active at the same time, taking effect, doing a bunch of damage across the globe. You can deny it if you want to, but the fact still remains that the change in the climate is also affecting the floor of the sea. The same emissions that are affecting the temperatures to change the air that we breathe each day of the same emissions affecting the carbon that gets absorbed from our atmosphere also being depleted into the water. So carbon causes acidified seawater that reacts with calcium carbonate that's left in the sea from deceased shelled creatures, turtles, crabs, sea turtles, and also hermit crabs. During this process, the carbon is neutralized, creating a bicarbonate. So when the calcium carbonate reacts to the acidified seawater, that's what creates the bicarbonate. And with all the extra amounts of carbon made by humans, the acid levels are rising, which is causing the ocean floor to dissolve. It's literally deteriorating in certain areas. This isn't true for the entire sea. The problem areas are mainly the western side of the North Atlantic, where there's about between 40 to 100% increase in that acid, having something to do with the sea level in the North Atlantic to deteriorate, as well as the Indian Ocean and the South Atlantic. South Atlantic, also a side note here, has faster bottom currents as the water passes along the sea floor at a faster rate. The deterioration is sped up alongside the immense amounts of carbon that is also in the water. So all of these have literally created an amalgamation of top to bottom effects of our global climate change and how it's affecting our everyday lives, and vice versa, and how our everyday lives are affecting global warming. Doing our best every day to recycle, control emissions is only a small portion of something that can be done to help eradicate the issues that we're facing with all of these immense storms, droughts, wildfires even. There's so many things that can be done, so many things that we haven't even addressed yet as not just a country but also as a globe. I think at this point we need to come together and figure out some type of solution to try to rid ourselves of further damage to be done, because this year we have seen catastrophic damage due to just climate changes. And I hope that with this knowledge I have given you, it will employ you to do your own research and find a common place in this whole global warming aspect and how it has changed over the years and how it will continue to change, as well as change this earth that we all have to live on. Thank you.